is graphic novels. So for a final test or anything, I think we'll do an analysis of graphic novel because we can't write an entire graphic novel, right?
Correct.
So I think we'll be focusing on the analysis of the graphic novel.
Okay, but then have they given you the novel and told you what the novel is and all that? Have they mentioned anything?
They just mentioned the name of the novel, but we haven't started reading it. The name was Mouse, Maus.
Okay, so do you have like the soft copy or something that you can share so that then we can go through it together?
Yeah, miss, I have the soft copy. Do you want me to mail it to you or share screen?
You can send it on chat. You are on the Teams chat, no?
On?
You are on the chat. Can you send it on the chat? Uh, One sec. I'll just see. 1 minute. 1 minute. I'll just get you. I'll see if I can check your name on the Teams chat.
Miss, I don't think I'm there.
1 minute. 1 minute. I'll just check on that. 1 second. No. Okay. No. Okay. So you have the PDF. How do you have the book? It's a PDF or a file?
Miss, I've saved it in iBooks.
Okay. So how would you be able to send it across then? Um,
Uh, Miss, I think I can give it to you as a PDF.
Okay, so if do you have the group of the class, no, where your number is on the class, the WhatsApp group?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can send it on that. I will get it from there.
Okay, miss, yeah.
Yeah. Kamya ma'am, can you just forward the book that she's sending on the group?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
I will.
Yeah, sure.
Miss, 1 second, it's getting sent.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, miss, it got sent.
Okay, fine. Just give me a moment. They'll get back on, and they just forward the book, and I'll download it here.
Yeah.
Oh. 1 second. Maheshi, this file is not opening. It's not. It's sent in some other format because it's not opening. It's showing that you don't have the app for viewing this. It's in some. What
Miss,
format is this in?
Miss, it's PDF only. 1 second, miss, I'll resend. Miss, can you, do you have iBook?
No, not. I don't have. Acha, what I would suggest you, Maishi, maybe for class today you can share screen,
Okay.
and then later on maybe once class, so that we utilize time effectively in class. Once class is over, maybe you can just put it into PDF and send it. So late before the next class, and I can download that at my end and keep. So today you can share screen then. We'll do that for now. Okay.
Yes, miss.
Yeah.
Miss, I've also sent it to you as a zip file if that opens. Just too much. But I'll share screen, miss. Once.
Yeah, you can just forward the file, no doubt, and in the meantime, just start screen share also.
Miss, I'm not having an option to share screen that particular window.
Oh, okay. 1 second.
Like I have it on a different desktop. So over here, when I share it only shows the Google Chrome window.
Okay. So it's not giving you that option of screen share.
Yeah, exactly. Miss, if I'm sharing, you can see the call only, right?
Ha! I can see my screen.
Yeah, exactly. So, miss, when I'm sharing screen, it doesn't allow me to
Okay.
share screen a different page.
Oh, okay. 1 second, because the zipped file is also not opening. 1 second, I just have to check and see. There is something. Just give me a moment. I just because
Yeah.
then we just need to figure out how to get. What's the name you said? Moss, a Survivor's Tale.
Yeah.
Is it available online? Because I'll just check if I can get it.
Message should be available online because even our teacher got it from me.
Uh, because I had a book of Moss, one minute, of Moss, but I think it was. 1 minute. For you, the picture which I have. I think this is the one. Wait. I remember I had this. Wait, a moment. Is this the one?
Yeah.
She?
Yes, miss. Yeah.
This is okay. Fine. Then that sorts out the problem. Okay. Right. So, what are they? What do they want you to do in this now? They want you to go through the book and do an analysis.
Yeah, correct. So we only had one class of English in our school before our break could start. So she told us that when the break ends, we'll be focusing on this book called Mouse, and she gave us few elements of a graphic novel. Like she talked about panels, splash, voiceover, and like speech bubbles, and then the gutter side, and all
Okay.
of that. So
Okay.
every I assume that we are going to do the analysis only because she taught us all the elements of analysis of a graphic novel.
Okay. So, but then before like getting into the analysis part, like would she want you all to kind of know what the novel is about and what is
Yeah.
the entire book based on?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, because as you see, if you just scan through the pages, you'll see like all the characters. Unlike most of the cartoons and all that we see, we have physical characters, like humans. But here, there it's like the mice which are used.
Yeah.
to depict characters like R.T. Spielberg and his father and his mother. I mean, all the characters are depicted, and this is a little bit which talks about the war, and it talks about the Nazis. It
Yeah.
talks about the concentration camp, like how people were being the Jews. Basically, it's about the Jews and how they were subjected to those harsh treatments in the concentration camp, and what happens to his family, his parents, and how that's how the book. It's actually about Artie writing a book about his father's life.
Okay.
So where he gets his father to tell him all that had happened in the like in their past, and because I mean obviously as a kid he doesn't remember a lot of things. So it's his father kind of narrating things to him, and he presenting it in this form of a novel to us. But it's quite different from the normal, like I said, no, the normal novels of books that we read, where we are used to seeing people.
Yeah.
Unlike we don't have mice being used as a human.
Yeah.
Yeah. So so do you want to like go through the book and then get into the analysis? So I think that would work better, right, if you
Yeah.
understand the
Yes,
content
miss.
and then
Yeah.
do the analysis.
Yeah.
Correct. So what we can do is we can go through this book together, and the points that your teacher has given you, like in terms of the characters, in terms of panels and all, you can keep that with you. So as we go through it, whenever or wherever you come across those points that she has asked you to kind of keep in mind, so you could annotate that in your book and kind of mark it out.
Yeah. Yes,
Yeah.
yes. We can
So
do.
first we'll do a run through the book, so at least you know what the content is. Then
Okay.
we get into the micro annotations, like the way she wants you to do it.
Yeah.
Would that work for you?
Yes, miss. It will.
Yeah. Okay. So how do you like what suits you in terms of reading aloud together, reading it at your end, because each kid has a different way of assimilating things. So
Miss,
how does it
anything
work?
is fine. Anything is fine.
It's okay. So if you read aloud and we read it together, are you comfortable with that?
Yeah, miss.
Okay, fine. So we do that because if there's anything that you kind of we need to discuss, so we can do it at that point itself.
Yeah.
Hmm? Yeah. So yeah, I'm sharing screen, so we can do it from here itself. Yeah. So first we just I see I've just given you a brief overview, like what the whole book is about. So
Yeah.
I'll just read out this part to you, which is like a kind of a summary to what I just mentioned to you about the whole book, and then we'll get on to the the different chapters.
Yeah. Yes,
All
miss.
right. So see, like I said, no, this is a book. It's a story of Vladek Spiegelman. So it talks about his the father, who is a survivor, as I said, of the Nazi concentration camp. It's, so it gives us a little introduction to the time of Hitler. Okay. And his son, so his son is Artie. Now he's basically a cartoonist, so that's the reason he uses his skill in terms of presenting the book. Though if as you read, you'll see that the father is actually against it. Father is not very comfortable because he feels that people may not be interested in knowing about what has happened to him in his life. But he is convinced by the son, and that's when he starts opening up and telling his son all these things.
Yeah.
Right. So so this is about the son, a cartoonist who tries to come to terms with his father's story and history itself. So like I said, we'll get into a little bit of history where we talk about the Nazis and the Jews. So we talk about the Nazis. So the Nazis are the cats and the Jews are the mice. So this is what you need to keep in mind when you're reading. So this is how they have depicted the two groups of people. Okay.
Yes,
So
miss.
just remember and mark this out, that Nazis are the cats and Jews are depicted as mice,
Nice. Yeah.
right? Yeah. So this succeeds perfectly in shocking us out of any lingering sense of familiarity with the events described. And like I said, it is, as the New York Times Book Review has commented, a remarkable feat of documentary detail, novelistic vividness, unfolding literary event. If you see the language that is used, of course, yes, most of the time it's pretty simple and straightforward, but yes, at times the way it is presented, in terms of the words being used, certain words being kind of pulled on, they are kind of stretched. So this is all possibly to create an effect for the reader. So he's, besides using his cartoonistic characteristics, he's also used his literary skills in that. So moving back and forth from Poland to Rego Park, New York, Moss tells two powerful stories. So it talks about the Spiegelman's father account of how he and his wife, that is Artie's parents, basically how they survive Hitler's treatment. A harrowing tale filled with countless brushes with death. So at times you kind of it takes you into a flashback. You somewhere try to visualize the things that may have been happening, especially when they talk of the concentration camps and all.
Yeah.
And how helpless people were. I mean, there are scenes, dialogues where you will actually, things come in front, like pictures in front of your eyes, and you would imagine that what people who went through this would have gone, how they would have felt at that point of time, knowing that death is waiting for them. So a harrowing tale filled with countless brushes with death, improbable escapes, and the terror of confinement and betrayal. And the second is the author's tortured relationship with his aging father as they try to lead a normal life of minor arguments, passing visits against a backdrop of history too large to pacify. Also, one thing that you would realize during the course of the novel is the relation between Artie and his father. It's yeah, no doubt, like there is a father-son relation between them, but at times you would understand that the relationship is probably a little strained. Okay, that is one aspect also which kind of very subtly would come out as we go through the novel. Right, so this is ultimate survivor's tale, and that too of the children who somehow survive, even the survivor. So how they kind of, you would even understand that how Artie was, kept safe from all these cruel things, how his parents, um, so Moss takes Spiegelman's parents to the gates of Auschwitz and him to the edge of despair. Put aside all your preconceptions, the cat and mice. So obviously, we are used to seeing cat and mice when we talk of Tom and Jerry.
Yeah.
Yeah, so whenever we look at cat and mice, that is the picture which comes. But here we're going to look at it from a different perspective. Okay, it's a little more serious, and it's a different way of looking at a cat and a mouse, rather than going in for that normal kind of fantasy that we have about a cat and a mouse in terms of Tom and Jerry. Okay, so this
So
is
who is Mouse? Mouse is the author, right?
come again.
Over here, when they talk about Mouse, he is the author, right? Mouse.
This book is written by Art Spiegelman, Artie.
Oh, okay, fine. Art is the okay.
Yeah, so actually he's writing about Vladek. Vladek is the father.
Yeah.
Okay, so this entire like, see, yeah, when we come to the reading, you'll understand. So this is written by Artie, and he's writing about Vladek and his parents, and then he talks about their life and how they have survived this course of history.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. So would you like to now begin reading? Now this is where we get on to the main text of the book.
Okay.
Yeah.
Miss, I think this is not chapter one. This is like a brief starting the
Yeah, it's
introduction.
a brief. Yes, yes. Because but from here the story would start picking up.
Oh,
Like
okay.
this is a background, and then you understand things from starting on from here.
Yeah. Okay, miss, no problem. I'll start reading.
Yeah.
It was summer, I remember. I was 10 or maybe 11. Last one to the schoolyard is a rotten egg.
Okay.
I was roller skating with Howie and Steve. Till
So
my
these are his
skate,
friends. So look at the picture
yeah,
when you're reading. Also, no, look at the picture, look at the background, and then read the text. So see now here, if you understand, you'll find friends over here. So and they're roller skating. Can you see the picture showing you that?
yeah.
Yeah, so it's a very typical kind of a depiction. So as you're reading, also look at the screen. So your visualization and the text would then would assimilate better for you.
Yes.
All right. Yes. Okay.
I was roller skating with Hoey and Steve till my skate came loose. Oh, hey, wait up, fellas. Rotten egg, haha.
Now see the
Wait up.
language here. Maishi, just give me a minute. See, yes, look at the language here. Hey, wait up, fellas. It's a very kind of a friendly, a very kind of a casual language. You know, it's a language that you would use with your friends. So as I said here, there is serious language use, there is kind of a language use on the lighter side. So this gives us a mixture of different literary writing that he has used in the novel. Okay.
Yeah, that's it. So, Miss, can you scroll down?
See?
Yeah. Wait up. My father was in front fixing something. Aarti, come to hold this a minute while I saw. Why do you cry, Aarti? Hold better on the wood. I fell and my friend skated away without me.
Arti was like small. Can you see? So this is again talking about Arti and his father. But this is talking about the time when he was a kid. When he says I was just about 10 or 11 years, and he is telling starting on from that point of time.
Yeah. He stopped sawing. Friends, your friends? If you lock them together in a room with no food for a week, then you could see what it is, friends.
Okay, so this is like an advice which he's giving. So he means to say like his friends left him and went when he falls down. So therefore his father says like you call these kind of fellows, you call them friends, the ones who left you. So therefore he says is if I have to put you all in a room and leave you for a week without anything, he says then you would, they say like you realize who your friends are when times are difficult. That's what people always say. So that's what also the father is saying. So that's the time you will realize who your true friends are. Okay. So now actually now see if you look at this picture here. Just give me a moment.
Yeah.
Yeah. See if you see the picture now. So can you see this picture here?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what do you think now when you look at this picture?
It's the dad, right? The father, Artie's father and his mom, I
Yeah.
guess.
So yes. So this is like he now he takes us a little bit about talking about his family and other things. So therefore it talks about his father. So the period is somewhere between 1930s to 1940. Okay, that's the period. Whereas if you look at when we started off, we were talking at 1958.
Yeah.
Okay, so now this is like, and another thing that you need to just be very careful and keep consciously in mind is this book keeps kind of flipping between past and present.
Yeah. Okay. Like
Okay, so
flashback and present, right?
yes. So it happens on a number of occasions. So when we are reading, so we just got to keep in mind ki, are we in the present or are we in the past? So there is a lot of kind of a flip flop which happens as we read the novel. Okay.
Yes.
Fine. So now let's go on to chapter 1. So we're talking about the shake. Now why the shake and all that we'll understand. So look at the picture here again. So just keep this picture in mind. Okay. Now as we read because if I tell you then the entire thing is let out. So what this picture would mean is what you'll understand when we read through the chapter now. Okay. So just keep that image in mind. Then when we come to that point, you yourself will figure out why that picture was used. Fine. Continue then.
I went out to see my father in Jago Park. I hadn't seen him in a long time. We weren't that close. Papa! Oh, Artie, you are late. I was worried. It's a shame. Francois, right? Francois?
Yeah, Francois.
Francois also didn't come. Oh, she sends regards.
Okay,
He
now
had,
Franco, so just note that he's mentioning about Artie's wife.
oh, okay.
Okay, so this is like, so see here in the first line itself, where Artie is quite open in saying that we weren't really close. So he kind of reveals what the what we read initially in the book, that he didn't have a very cordial relation with his father. Okay, yeah, continue.
He had aged a lot since I saw him last. My mother's suicide and his 2 heart attacks had taken their toll. Mala, look, who's here? Artie. He was reminded.
No,
He
he
was
was
reminded.
remarried.
Oh, yeah, sorry. He was remarried. Mala knew my parents in Poland before the war. She was a survivor too, like most of my parents' friends. Hi, Artie. Let me take your coat.
Okay, so now you are kind of slowly introducing. They are introducing us to the different characters. So we have seen Artie, we have seen Vladek, we know about Mala. Okay, so Mala, who's Mala now? If you kind of read, now you know who's Mala.
Artie's dad's second wife.
Yeah. So this is so these are like slowly now we'll see the difference. So maybe in your book or in your notebook you could just note down the characters and who they are till
Yeah.
you kind of familiarize yourself with all of them.
Yeah.
Fine? Yeah. Okay. Continue.
The dinner's on no, yeah. The dinner's on the table. Ah, Mala. A wire hanger you give him? I haven't seen Artie in almost 2 years. We have plenty wooden hangers. They didn't get along. Over here, the father is telling Mala, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
What telling Mala what?
That you should have treat him better by
Huh?
giving him
Like
a
yeah,
wooden.
yeah. So yeah, so he's he's see a thing that you also need to understand that his father is kind of getting older.
Yeah.
So it's age, and like Artie says, he was see he is very he kind of doesn't take it too well when his wife dies, that is Artie's mother.
Hmm.
So that has kind of impacted him, and then he's been unwell also, his health is also not been too good, he's aging, and so things like that. So therefore if you see at certain times you'll see that even his relation with Mala is sometimes up and down.
Yeah.
Okay, so therefore see, if you look at his face, you look at the expression on his face, it's like that how can you, he's come after 2 years and you're giving him such a cheap kind of a hanger, and why can't you could have given him something better.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they didn't get along is probably a thought that actually crosses even Artie's mind, that maybe even the father and Mala aren't
And
really
not on good terms.
good terms. Yeah, like I said, they kind of in and out of the relation, so that way. Okay. Yeah, continue.
Miss, you need to scroll down.
I've scrolled on the next page.
Miss, it's not loaded. So I'll read from my book until it
Yeah, you can
loads.
read. Yes, yes, sure, no problem. You can read. I'll.
After dinner, he took me into my old room. Come, we'll talk while I pedal. It's good for my heart, the pedaling. But tell me, how is it by you? How is going the comics business? I still want to draw that book about you. The one I used to talk to you about your life in Poland and the war. It would take many books, my life, and no one wants anyway to hear such stories. I want to hear it. Start start with your mom. Tell me how you met. Better. Better you should spend your time to make drawings. What will bring you some money? But if you want, I can tell you. I lived in how do you pronounce that? Because
Z. Yeah, Zeto Shova. Zeto Shova.
I lived then in Zatoshova, a small city not far from the bowl,
Border. Border.
not from the border of Germany. I was in I was in textiles, buying and selling. I didn't make much, but always I could make a living. Miss, over here at times when they haven't phrased it correctly, is it on purpose? Like,
Yes. So it's like, you know, see, it's a way of you know, kind of literary writing. So it's like, as I said, no, it's not like some sentences you find would be kind of incomplete, some sentences very casual. So it's, you know, to kind of get the readers into, you know, to get their interest, to get them into it. Okay. So it's probably, you know, he's done it with a purpose.
after dinner, he took me into my old no one.
He did that. Next, you've done till then. No? I was in textiles, buying and
Yeah,
selling.
I was at that time young and really a nice, handsome boy. I had a lot of girls what I didn't even know that would run after me. Hello, Walden,
Vladek. Vladek, yeah.
Vladek. This is Ulik,
Yeah.
a friend of mine, Lucia Greenberg.
Lucia Greenberg.
Lucia Greenberg would like to be introduced to you. The Sheikh. People always told me I look just like Zado
Rudolph.
Rudolph Valentino.
Yeah. So see, you know, he thinks like, you know, see, he says, you know, that see, probably in his young days, you know, he was a very handsome person, and you know, he carried himself very well. So that's why he tells his son, you know, that there were so many girls who were after me. And he says many of them I didn't even know, like, you know, they were after me. So then he just, you know, narrates one incident where he talks of a friend of his who introduces him to a friend of his, that is Lucia. Okay, so the friend Ulek calls Vladek and tells him that I want you to meet my friend Lucia Greenberg. Okay, because she is, you know, she probably wants to be introduced to you. So he says, you
This
know,
is
that
like one day of his old life, like his past
yes,
life.
yes, yes. He's telling his he's, you know, he's kind of narrating his life. So he starts with this incident, you know, like, because he asks him, you tell me how you met mother. I mean, you know, his mother, his mom.
Yeah.
So in context to that, he starts telling him things, you know, like, you know, probably about like how he was a kind of a hero kind of a person, and how girls were crazy over him. And so he starts narrating this incident about this girl to him.
So Vladik was him only.
Him in the sense, who him? What do you mean by him?
The father, Artie's dad in
Yes,
UK.
yes, yes. Vladek is the father, is Artie's father.
And Ulek is his other friend who is introducing Lucia to Vladik,
Ulek is Vladek's friend.
who is introducing Lucia.
Yes, yes. Okay, so these Ulek is not going to be an important part in the story, but Lucia will have a part to play, at least in the initial part of the book. Then later on things would fade away with her, but you know, now on, because the father would keep telling us things about her, so for some time she would be a part of the novel too.
But Lucia is Artie's mother, right? Who he marries at the end.
Should I tell you?
Yeah,
Yes
yeah.
or no?
This way.
Huh? Or
Yeah,
you
yeah.
want to wait for the suspense?
No, miss, we'll wait for the suspense.
You wait for the suspense, because if I tell you whether he married her and whether she was Artie's mother, then you know that what to say, the maza will all, the fun goes.
Yeah, yeah. No, no, miss, we'll wait for the
You'll
suspense.
come to it very soon. You will come to it very soon, because if I tell
Okay.
you, then when you come to it, you will not, you know, it won't excite you. Ki, oh, what is happening in the novel?
Yeah.
Okay? Yeah. All right. Continue.
Eventually, I took Lucia to dance. Do you live alone? Yes. I have a small apartment. My parents moved to Sosnois. I'd like to see it sometime. Maybe sometime. Wherever I went, I looked around, and Lucia Greenberg would also be there. Vladik, which way are you going? Just to the market. Me too. Let's walk together. But Pop Mom's name was Anna. Zeilberg, Zeilberg,
Zeilberg.
Zeilberg.
So you got
All
your
this.
answer? You got your answer?
No, Miss, how,
You didn't
who's
get your answer?
no, Miss? 1 second. How did Zeilberg become? Uh, 1 second. No, no.
Mama, your voice is cracking in the middle. What do you say? How
Miss,
did?
how did Zeilberg come here?
Who is this now? Who is this Anna Zeilberberg?
Well, it was mom's name.
Mom yani? Who?
Mother. The
Artie's
mother's name.
mother. Artie's
Yeah,
mother.
yeah.
Okay, so now that's why I said you got your answer to what you were asking me.
No, Miss, yet my answer was, do they end up together? Like,
So
does...
you read it, my dear. You read it. You should get the answer. You read it just now.
Oh, so they were sisters and brothers. That's why even her name was Greenberg, maybe. I don't know.
No, no, it doesn't mean all the Bergs are related with each other.
I don't
Doesn't
know.
mean that Greenberg and Zalberberg are all cousins and all that. They are two different. They are different people. Okay, but the thing is that now see this line. What does this line say? Look at this picture here. What does Artie say? But Pop, mom's name was Anna Zalberberg.
Oh, yeah. Oh, so they're just friends and then he makes a
So
new
you
girl.
understood. So though
Oh,
he is
yeah.
talking about Lucia, he's talking about Lucia, and he says how she was, very so crazy over him that's why he says, every time I turned around somewhere, I would see her behind me. So she kind of was
Yeah.
so possessive and so much, so kind of so obsessed with him that she would be following him everywhere. But then that's why Artie says, but my mother's name was Anna. My mother's
Yes,
name was, it
yeah.
kind of means it was not Lucia. So you understood. That means he didn't kind of marry her.
Yeah,
So
got
you
it.
got your answer, right?
Yeah, yes.
Okay. So you just note down this next person, that is Anna. Anna Zeilberberg, who is Artie's mother.
Yeah.
So now what happens? Slowly, you will build the family tree. So you understand who is who now in the whole process. And Lucia was one
Is
of the
this
girls
uncle
who,
who liked
yeah, who liked
Vladek?
Vladek. Okay, Kanu, let's continue.
All this was before I met Anna. Just listen, yes? Why don't you ever invite me to your home? Are you ashamed of it? She kept insisting me to show her my apartment. So finally, I invited her. Everything's so neat and clean. I like to keep things in order. You must have another girl friend who cleans for you. No? I didn't want to be more closer with her, but she really wouldn't let me go. Was she the first girl you? Yes, we were more involved. So, like the youths here today, we saw each other together for maybe 3 or 4 years. Let's get engaged, Vladik. It's late. I'll take you home. Not yet. Please, come on. Your parents would worry. Her family was nice, but had no money, even for a dowry. Well, every holiday I went to visit my family, it was maybe a journey of 35 or 40 minutes
Miles.
of miles. Sorry. Cousin Vladik, it's good to see you again. Listen, there's a girl in my class. I want you to meet us tomorrow. Her name is
Anya.
Anja. An-
Yeah, it's Anja, or it's also pronounced as Anya, Anja. So this is another person now whom they're going to tell us about.
okay. So this
Okay.
is Anja is his cousin's.
No. His cousin now, when the father goes back home for a holiday, because he was living in another place, no, close
Yeah,
to Germany, right?
yeah.
So he would go home every, so like if you see the time they have mentioned, there is December 1935.
1935. Yeah.
So assuming that probably he would go home for maybe Christmas or go home for vacation. So when he goes back home, Vladek's cousin, okay,
He
Vladek's cousin,
cousin. Yeah.
yeah, Vladek's cousin. Now we aren't told who the cousin is and all that, but just that if you see, like Vladek's cousin comes and tells him that I have a classmate, okay, and I want you to meet her tomorrow. So the cousin is telling Vladek that I want you to meet my classmate tomorrow, and her name is Anya.
And,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, so this is, so that like one by one, so now we have seen a little part of Lucia, we are now looking at another person, that is Anya.
Anya, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
She is incredibly clever. From a rich family, a very good girl. The next morning, we all met together. My cousin and Anya spoke sometimes in English. How like him?
How you
He's a
like him?
how you like him? Yeah. He's a handsome boy and seems very nice. They couldn't know I understood. Well, I promised to be home early. I leave you two alone. You know, you should be careful. You, you know, you should be careful speaking. You know, you should be careful speaking English. A stranger could understand. You know English? Did you study it in school? I had I had to. What's that word?
I had to quit school. Quit school means leave school. Yeah.
I had to quit school at about 14 to work, but I took private lessons. I always dreamed of going to America. It's a shame you have to return to Chesetsova,
Yeah. Zestoshova.
Zestashova so soon. Yes, but I have my business. Have you a phone at home? As soon as I came back to Chesetsova, she called once a day, twice every day. We talked.
Girl is also kind of, we are getting close to each other. Okay, that is Anya and
Uh,
Vladek.
Anya and yeah,
Vladek.
okay, yeah. And then she started writing to me such beautiful letters. Almost nobody could write Polish like she wrote. I visited a couple times to her. She sent me a photo. I bought a very nice frame. It passed maybe a week until Lucia again came and saw the photo. I'm going to get engaged to her, Lucia. Shh. And look at a beauty you picked.
Okay. So now
Oh,
see the little
this is,
problem which will happen.
so he's telling Lucia that he'll get married to Anya, right?
Yes, yes.
Looks aren't everything, Lucia. It isn't good for either of us that you keep coming up here. We have to plan for a future and forget her. Let me make you happy. It was not so easy to get free from Lucia.
So you
Mom
understand
wasn't, yeah,
Lucia's nature, no? So she was pretty obsessive of him.
yeah.
And she was very, she was obsessed. You can say maybe she was too possessive. So she couldn't really imagine, or it could also be that she really loved him and she really loved him a lot. Whereas he, never really had those kind of emotions for her. Like, though he says that we kind of we were around, we kind of we were with each other for 3 to 4 years and all that, but somewhere, he never really had that kind of feelings that probably she had for him. But when it was Anya, when Anya was concerned, it was, maybe that both of them had that kind of feeling for each other. Therefore, he kind of decides and he tells Lucia also that, we are planning to get engaged.
Mom wasn't that attractive, huh? Not so like Lucia. But if you talked a little to her, you started loving her more and more. One time we walked into the director from her school. You are very lucky, Mr.
Spiegelman.
Spieg- Spiegelmeth, right?
Mr. Spiegelman means Vladek only. He's talking to the principal, is talking to Vladek. See, you can see the principal meeting both of them, no? The head of the school.
Miss,
So
why
he
does
just,
this character have so many names?
huh?
Why does Vladek have so many names?
No, his full name is Vladek Spiegelman, no?
Wasn't his surname before something else at the starting?
No, the same, no, my dear. Where in the
Oh,
beginning,
okay.
they mentioned that only. See, even here when we started the book, it was Spiegelman only.
So, Miss the son,
Vladek Spiegelman.
He mentioned Zeilberberg. So, who was she?
Anna, see, you know, the book uses, at times it uses Anna, it uses Anna, Anya. So these are all referring to his mother. That
Oh,
was the
okay.
mother's, it's like, you know, your maiden surname.
Yeah, yeah, okay.
Okay. So but you know, her name, at times you would find Anna, at times you would find him calling her Anna, Anja. Okay, so Anja, Anna, so Anya, different ways, you know, that they use for pronunciation.
Okay. Yeah,
Okay,
got it.
yeah, one second, I'm coming back to where we were. All this. We were here. Okay. Yeah, where the director meets them.
One time we walked into the school director from a school. You are very lucky, Mr. Spiegelman. You don't know what a girl you are getting. I've had many students, but never one as sensitive and intelligent as Anna. Yes, that's why I picked her. I wish you could visit me in Chesetova,
Just to Shova.
Chestashova. I'd like I'd like to show you off to my friends. I've begged my mother to let me go, but she's so religious and old-fashioned. She would never allow me to go to a bachelor's apartment. And do I read that the down part also, or do I read the other speech bubble first and then the down part?
Hashigiri, Anna's parents were anxious that she should be married. She was 24 and I was then 40. So, you know, like, so there was a like kind of a 6 years gap between them.
Huh.
So the parents were like pretty keen that, you know, she marries him as soon as possible.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, my parents would like you to come to dinner tomorrow night. The Zeilerberg family was very well off millionaires.
Okay, now see comparative. Now here there is one thing which you've noted. What do you see as the difference between Lucia and Anna?
Lucia is more like from a poised family. Like she belongs to very. Their personalities are very different.
Hmm.
Like one is very rich, yet intelligent and kind and sensitive, and the other one might not be very rich, but he is intelligent and kind and all. Like they have common things, but they have different backgrounds.
So if you see like Lucia, see if you're looking at you know, if you kind of observing what Vladek is saying, see no doubt maybe you know he has known Lucia for a long time, and you know if you look at Vladek, you kind of get a feeling that probably you know he's a person who's ambitious. He's a
Yeah.
person who wants to make money. He's a person who wants to you know be like maybe be a big businessman one day. But when he looks at Lucia, he very specifically says, you know, she did not come from a very wealthy family. So you know, and when he talks about Anna, like he talks about Anna over here, he says the Zylberberg family was very well off millionaires. So you know that also could be one of the reasons, because and another thing that Arti says, see, that mother was not very attractive. So what does Vladek say at that time? Yes, she was not as attractive as Lucia. Okay, so what you understand is, you know, that probably he was, besides, you know, kind of liking the person, knowing the person, he was also interested in the family background of the person, in the, you know, like whether she, because whether she came from a rich family or whether she came from a poor family. Because for Lucia, he says her parents didn't even have money to give a dowry.
Yeah.
So it shows, you know, his intentions. So, you know, how he was looking at marriage. Was he looking at marrying a girl who was rich, who was wealthy, so that he could also probably be financially better off?
Yeah.
Okay. So these things also we need to keep in mind when, you know, Arti mentions all these things, right? Because it you know, it just seems like a passing conversation, but these have a little bit of meaning in them. If you know, kind of get into the in-depth understanding of these dialogues.
Yeah.
Okay. Continue.
The Zeilerbergs had a hosiery factory.
Hosiery,
One of the
hosiery. It's a
hosiery.
hosiery. Hosiery is, you know, hosiery, you know, factory is where they make the innerwears.
Okay.
Yeah, the inner garments, inner clothes. So they had that factory. And
Oh, okay.
what was Vladek also dealing with? They have mentioned that, if you can recollect, what was his business? What was
He,
Vladek's?
I don't remember.
You read it?
Miss, can you give me a hint so I can tell you?
Something related to, kind
Clothes.
of, yeah. What was it? He was also
Uh,
into textiles.
oh, yeah, yeah, we read. Oh, yeah, 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 yeah.
So mention it. Just note it, because these are small things sometimes. So you don't let it pass over, the mind. So he was also into textile business, because he was into buying and selling of goods.
Yeah.
And Anna also comes from a very wealthy family, and they have this hosiery factory, which they also mention as one of the biggest in Poland. So from that itself, you can understand that she was from a very, very rich family.
The Zylerbergs had a hosiery factory, one of the
Yes.
biggest in Poland. But when I came into their house, it was so like a king came. Welcome, welcome. Anna, Vladek is here. Make yourself comfortable while I help with the dinner. To see what a housekeeper she was, I peeked in Anna's closet. Everything is neat and straight, just the way I like it. But what's this? Pills? If she was sick, then what did I need it for? Dinner is ready. Later, no, later, a friend, a druggist told me the pills were only because she was so shiny and so skinny and nervous.
Hmm.
How about some more gas
Yeah,
rice?
geflight fish, bladek. So that's
Just like
like the foods. You can look at the dinner table, how big it is, and how much of food is served.
yeah,
So the only thing that he notices now, if you see, another thing that you notice about Vladek, see, while she goes into kind of help with dinner and all, he wants to know what kind of a person she is. So what does he do? He goes and he opens her closet.
closet.
Yeah, so when he opens the closet, he sees that everything is very systematically kept. So he under, because he also tells Lucia, how do you know his kind of nature? He tells Lucia that I like everything to be clean and proper and tidy.
Yeah,
So when he opens her closet, he sees that everything is very neatly arranged. So he kind of assumes that she is also a person who likes cleanliness and is neat and tidy. But one thing that he finds in her closet is this bottle of
pills, pills.
pills. Okay, and then when he finds, see, so he's a kind of a person who kind of investigates, a kind of a person who kind of finds out things. So then he goes to a friend who is a druggist, and he asks him what are these pills used for, and the friend tells him that she uses it for probably anxiety, and because she's nervous and anxious and thin, she uses these pills. Okay, so these
Yeah,
things need to be kept in mind, because later on they would come into the picture, these points, these things.
yes, please. So to make a long story short, by the end of 1936, we were engaged, and I moved from Chesetova to
Sosnowiec.
Sosnois.
Sosnowiec, yeah, this is the place now where they are. So he leaves that place from Zestoshova and he comes now to Sosnowiec.
And before Sosno, it was where he had moved, right? Like away from his family, or it was where
Zestoshova, yeah, that is, he was in Zestoshova, now he comes to Sosnowiec.
back to his old place, right?
This is a place actually where they live, like where Anna and all are. No, he comes back there.
Oh, okay, fine. Here, I forgot to tell something from before. I moved to Sosnois, but after our engagement was made, one evening the bell rang. Lucia, oh, what are you doing here? I'm on my way out. I'll come with you. No, you can't. No, you can't come with. Please, Vladek. She fell on the floor and held strong my legs. Don't run away. I saw now that I went too far with her. I ran out to my friend what introduced us. He went to calm her down and took her home.
Hmm. Okay, so now you understand the picture which I told you
Yeah,
to
the chapter
remember.
one picture.
So you remember that similar thing. So this is like now she realizes that probably Vladek is going to marry Anna. So therefore you see she comes and she's literally pleading with him. If you see the picture, she's fallen on the floor and she's literally pleading with him. See, don't go, don't run away. Okay. I saw now that I went too far with her. So obviously, now he realizes that, because they spent quite a number of years together and now suddenly he kind of turns her down, right? And
Yeah,
so then you see the last picture, if you see, where the word slam is used, see.
yeah. But he leaves her and like he
Yeah,
doesn't care.
he just moves away and he says, I ran out to my friend, what introduced us. He went to calm her down and then he took her home. So he kind of goes to that friend. You remember Ulik?
Yeah,
He was the one who had introduced them, no? So
yeah.
he goes to him and then he kind of, so with this, like, more or less, the chapter with Lucia would come to an end.
But Miss, when he told Lucia that he and Anna were engaged, that time he was in where he was. He was in
With
Sosnoy.
Shova. He was
So,
in Shova that time.
so Rashtrashova is where he was originally living, and
Yes.
Snowy is where he met Anna.
Sosnovik is now where he comes now. After they get engaged
Yeah,
and all, he comes to this place now.
yeah, okay.
Okay, so she comes now to Sosnovik because he leaves that place. So now she comes to Sosnovik and kind of tries to see that
Please,
whether
him.
he can change his mind and all. But then he says no, like he's already engaged and he's kind of made up his mind that he wants to marry Anna.
Anna. I don't hear more from Lucia, but also I stopped hearing from Anja.
Huh.
No telephone calls, no letters, nothing. What happened? Hello, Mrs. Zeilerberg. Could I speak to Anja? She says she won't speak to you. But why? She got a letter from someone in Chestosova. My God, it says the worst thing in the world about you. Well, I can't convince her on the phone. I'll come down by train on Friday after work. It wasn't even a holiday, but I went anyway to Sosnovois. So tell me, Anja, what have I done that's so horrible? You should know. Just read this. What if Lucia wrote the letter to Anja?
That's what's happening, no?
Oh, she did? Oh,
Ah.
acha. Okay.
This is a little bit, this part of the novel is a little bit about a movie. You feel like you're
Yeah,
watching a movie, like what is that, a love triangle.
yeah, actually. Okay.
So little bit, as you're reading this part, at least you will feel like you're watching some kind of a Hindi movie where you have the two women who are after one man and one woman is trying to tell, kind of poison the mind of the other. So this is something like that which is happening here so far. So that is why he says that Lucia, after some time, Lucia stopped kind of contacting him, and at the same time he realizes that even Anya has stopped communicating with him over the, like, he says she used to call once a day, twice a day, and we used to keep talking and all that. And so now he realizes that even she has stopped. So when he calls to find out, her mother tells him that Anna has got a letter from someone and it says the most horrible things about you. So after that, she probably doesn't really want to be in touch with you.
Yeah.
Okay, and then he comes to Anna's house. He comes to their house to meet her because he says I cannot convince her on the phone, and that's now what we are seeing now is what is happening between with regard to that letter.
Hmm. I don't even want to see it. Just tell me who wrote it, or better yet, I'll tell you. Lucia Greenberg, right? It's just signed. Your secret friend S. It says you have a very bad reputation in Chestershore, that you have a lot of girlfriends, and and that you're marrying me for money, for my money. Oh, Anja, you should know me better. Ask anyone in Chestershore about my character, Lucia, and an old girlfriend who won't leave me alone. She means nothing at all to me. So I moved to Sosnoe at the end of 1936, and February 14, 1937, we were married. And now, some vodka to toast the young couple. I moved into one of father-in-law's two apartments. He owned both, and he gave to me part ownership and a very beautiful gold watch for a wedding gift.
So see
So he
now,
is now telling that like everything sorted, and then someone interrupts, right? Like, and now some vodka to toast the young couple,
no,
or is it the wedding night?
right. See, what happens is then they get married, and then it's like now he again goes back to the part where they probably having a family get together after the wedding. So he says now some vodka to toast the young couple. So maybe after the wedding they all gather for a meal, and they are kind of raising the toast with vodka. So therefore that dialogue is mentioned there. And then he also mentions that the father-in-law gives him part ownership of one of the apartments, and also gives him a gold watch as a gift.
Hmm.
So this clearly shows that obviously that they are, like they say, they are pretty well to do. So this is what he gets after he marries Anna.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Uh, but this, what I just told you about Lucia, and so I don't want to. I don't want you.
You
I
should write this in
don't
your book.
want.
I don't want, you should write this in your book.
Okay, yeah. I don't want you to write this in your book. What? Why not? It has nothing to do with Hitler, with the Holocaust. But Pop, it's great material. It makes everything more real, more human. I want to tell your story the way it really happened. But this isn't so proper, so respectful. I can tell you other stories, but such private things I don't want you should mention. Okay, okay, I promise.
See, so though he promises, he still mentions it.
Yeah.
Okay, so now this is about so this is like done with chapter 1, so where we see the early life of Vladek, about his life, about his business, and how he actually meets Lucia, and how he meets Anna, and how he kind of now settles down and marries her. So that's all, all that happens in the first chapter. Okay, now we come to the second chapter. Now second chapter, again we'll see why this image as we continue further. Are you understanding? Anything you're still like confused, anything that you're not very clear with?
No, no, but I'm
You're
understanding.
understanding, no? All right. So we move to the next part then.
Yeah. For the next few months, I went back to visit my father quite regularly to hear his story. About mom, 11, 12, 13. What are you doing, Bob? I'm making into daily portions,
Portions.
my pills. 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So many. It's six pills for it's six pills for the heart. One for it's I or one, yeah.
One.
Yeah. One for diabetes and maybe 25 or 30 vitamins. For my condition, I must fight to save myself. Doctors, they only give me junk food. That's how I call prescription drugs now. I study this in my prevention magazines. Maybe you want to read? No thanks. About mom. Did she have any boyfriends before she met you? Not romantic, but one tall boy from Warsaw. Warsaw.
Warsaw.
He was a communist.
Okay.
Even after,
Now here, no, Maheshi, see here he talks about the father is telling all about his side. So now Arti wants to know, like, did the mother also have any story before they were married. So the father says like nothing, that maybe very specific, but then he says, I know that she knew this one person who was a communist, because at that time, there were a lot of these communism and all that was there. So he says, I just know about this one person whom she knew who was a communist.
Even after the marriage, when this fellow came to Sosnois, Anja always ran to see him. I didn't know, of course, that he was communist. I always kept far away from communist people. All little after we were married, I came home from a selling trip. Hey, Ladik, they just arrested the seamstress, seamstress that
Seamstress.
lives that lives down your hall. She had some secret communist documents. And when I went upstairs, the police just agrees. Huh? What's the matter? The police were here looking for Anja. She just told us that boy from Warsin brings communist messages. She translates them into German and passes them on. Anja was involved in conspirations.
Okay, so this is what he realizes about her.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so he also realizes that somewhere Anna is also involved along with that person who was a communist. So, where they would bring in messages and they would get them translated and all that. Okay, they would translate them into, where she would translate them into German and pass on the messages. So, somewhere, he realizes that Anna is involved in these political activities. Okay.
Miss, in the last panel, in the last box, who is the person who is like telling him that she translates them into German and this? It's the one with dots on her head. She is Anja, right?
Correct, correct.
And the other one is uh, Artie's dad, Vladek. And who's the
Yes.
other one?
So
Looking.
this is, yeah. So this is probably, see here, if you see, this is like, one of the, see, when he goes up, see what happens over here is they say that he was not at home when this episode happens.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's when he says, see, he says, a little after we were married, I came home from a trip.
From a selling trip, yeah.
Yeah. So they say, hey, Vladik, they just arrested. So this is probably like, one of the people who are there in that place.
Oh, okay, fine.
So see, some of, they, if you see that arrow pointing, can you see that arrow going up, the
Yeah.
bubble coming up? So
Yeah.
it's like one of the person telling Vladek that the police have arrested the seamstress. She had come with some secret documents. And when I went upstairs, so this is when, he goes upstairs, the police just arrests her. What's the matter? Okay, the police were here. So this is what Anja is saying.
Oh, okay.
Okay, and then this is probably, one of the people who are there who says looking for Anja.
Okay.
And then it continues. Yeah, so then it continues. She just told us that
The
boy
boy.
from Warsaw brings communist messages
And she translates them
into
into German.
German and passes them on.
Oh, okay. A little before the police came, she got from friends a telephone call. They suspect you. Hide the papers quickly, but they are important to you.
Try,
But
try, try not to destroy them.
quickly. But try, miss. It's they are right. They are important. Oh,
Try
but
not.
they are important. Try
Huh,
not to destroy them.
huh.
What to do? What to do? She ran to the seamstress. What was on for our tenants? Miss Stefanska, please hide this package for me. Don't tell anyone about it. And Anja was a good customer, so she agreed.
So understood what happened. So before the police could arrive, Anja gets a call saying that the police are suspecting that you have some papers, so go and hide them. Okay.
But who does she go to? Who is Stefanska?
Stephen Scarf is that seamstress, the lady. Seamstress is like a person who kind of stitches, no?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So, and Anna gets a call telling her that, see, she says a little before the police came, she gets a call from a friend. okay, who tells her that the police have probably suspected that you are having some communist documents. So you hide those documents. You make it take them away from you and hide them. So what does Anja do? She immediately comes running to this seamstress
And she
and
gives it
gives
to
her, yeah, she gives her that paper, that packet, and she tells her, you keep this, okay, don't tell anyone that I had come and given it to you. And since that seamstress knew Anja very well, she kind of helps her. She says, okay, fine, I will keep it. Okay.
yeah.
And yeah, now continue.
The police went over a house top to bottom. It was nothing to find, so they searched the neighbors. Okay, how did you get this package? I never saw it before. One of my customers must have left it. Anja was safe, but the seamstress they arrested.
Okay, so understood what happened. So the seamstress got arrested in the bargain. Okay, so this is what
Yeah, yeah.
so see what happens is, so the seamstress gets caught in the bargain. So she tries to cover up for Anja, and she says that I don't know whose packet it is, but one of my customers must have left it. And in the bargain, this lady gets caught. Continue.
When I found out the story, I was ready to break the marriage. I told her, Anja, if you want me, you have to go my way. If you want your communist friends, then I can't stay in this house. And she was a good girl, and of course, she stopped all such things. What happened to the seamstress? Miss Steffanska sat in prison for a longer time, maybe 3 months. Our father-in-law paid the cost from the lawyers and gave to her some money. It cost maybe 15,000 zlots.
Hmm.
Zlotys.
Yeah,
That's a
lots. So this
lot,
is
huh?
money. So the father-in-law gets her out.
Yeah. Gets Stefanska out, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Okay. That's a lot, huh? Uh, ja, ja, ja. But not only this, at the same time, he did for us even more. You know, Vladek, when you and Anja give me a grandchild, I want him to be well off. Well, I almost have enough from my sale trips to start up a textile shop. A shop? You ought to have a textile factory. That would cost a fortune. Please, I can give you the money and plenty of credits. I started a factory in Belisco and visited to Anja every weekend.
Okay, so now this is when now he starts his own factory. Okay, this is in another place, that is Belsko, and this is then therefore he says now they were in Sosnov. So it was probably these places were close by. So he says every weekend he would visit Anna.
Yeah. By October 1937, the factory was going and it was born. My first son, Richard.
Richu, Richu.
Richard. He's a big baby, over 3 kilos. My God, Anja only weighs 39. Of
Hmm.
course, you never knew him. He didn't come out from the war. Yes, I know. But wait, if you were married in February, February, and Richard was born in October, was he premature? But you, after, after the war, when you were born, it was very premature. The doctors thought you wouldn't live. I found a specialist. What saved you? He had to break your arm to take you out from Anja's belly. And when you were a tiny baby, your arm always jumped up like so. We joked and called you the Heel
Hail
Hitler.
Hail Hitler. So it's
Hail.
like, so So actually, if you see, this Artie is their second child, because the earlier child, that is Richu, as I said no earlier, he does not make it through the war. He kind of gets, in that,
Caught up in the
as
Holocaust.
yeah, he kind of gets caught up, and then he also dies along with the other people, and then he just makes fun of saying, that when Richu was born, he too was a little premature, and how the doctors had to kind of literally get him out of, literally kind of get him out, and how he would raise his arm every time, and which seemed like him saying Hail Hitler.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Always we pushed your arm down and you would, oops, look, now what you made me do. Me? Okay, I'll recount them later. No, you don't know. Counting pills? I'll do it after. I'm an expert for this.
Okay, so Maishi, what we do is we'll stop over here for class
Yeah.
today. So I hope you kind of understood all that we've done, and you kind
Yes,
of
ma'am.
understanding the story also.
Yes, yes.
Right, so
Yeah.
this is what you can do is, now since we've done completed chapter 1, we've kind of begun with chapter 2, so you can reread this on the lines that are given to you by your teacher, like
Oh, yeah.
yeah. So now you understand the context, so now you reread it on the lines that she wants you to read, and see if you're able to kind of focus on the areas that she has asked you to focus.
Okay, miss.
Are
Yeah,
you
I'll
able
do.
to annotate? Are you able to pick up those things? So you can do that. So next class, what we'll do is we can do a run through with what you've done,
Yeah.
and we'll proceed with the rest of the chapter then.
Okay, miss. Perfect.
Got it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So any questions you have before we end for today? Anything that you want to still
No, miss.
discuss?
I understood.
You're
Yeah.
clear. All right, Maishi. So I'll see you in next class then.
Yes, miss.
Bye. See you. Take care.
Bye,
Bye-bye.
miss. Thank
Bye.
you.
Welcome. Bye.